the wreath, old rugged cross wreath kit. And it is kit number 556, but Jill just put the link to it down there in the comments. Hopefully it'll stay there. She'll get it all fixed up. Cold South Dakota. Hey, Serena. Hello, hello. Guys, I feel like it's a party going on because I've missed you guys. All right, so this kit comes with this sign, the Old Rugged Cross, a 10-inch sign. Look at the mesh I was able to snag. I grabbed 2 rolls of this vertical, this horizontal stripe mesh. This is a Deco Poly mesh that is a newer design, but check that out. So we're going to be using that. This kit also comes with 2 greenery. This variegated greenery is as part of this, and you also get this one. I had to throw both of them in there, y'all, and I still was able to keep the price of this down. This wreath kit is actually under $60, I believe. Jill, if you're there, tell me in the comments what's the price of this kit. But look how beautiful all of that's going together. And you also get the wire frame to bring it all together. And you get these 2 rolls of ribbon. So both of these rolls of ribbon come in this wreath kit. It's amazing. Now I am going to use some additional items such as my, I like to use cable tie mounts to attach my sign to the wreath frame, and my DAP Rapid Fuse glue. So I'll be using 4 of those. And some of you may choose to use a hole punch and use floral wire or whatever to attach that to your frame, and that's okay too. And I'm also going to pull out my trusty wreath mesh cutter and my favorite shears. The ones that I've owned for going on 8 years and have never sharpened. These are Fiskars. They're awesome. And wire cutters. We're going to need some wire cutters for that greenery. I have my glue pot off to the side heating up. And so it's cooking over here on the side off camera, getting ready for us. Let me see if it's getting warm enough. I might have to add a little glue. So there you go, Karen. Good to see you. Now, Karen, I have seen you. So happy you're on. Put something in the mail today for the, oh, Charlotte, bless your heart, for the kids. Thank you. I appreciate that. Diana, you feel sorry for all of us that are having this rotten weather? Girl, me too. Me too. And what's crazy is we normally don't get this crappy of a weather until February. I was telling the kids that this morning. I was like, you know, we still have several months of winter left. And you know, winter's just begun. Winter just began December 21st. So we're not even we're just a little over 30 days in winter. By the way, when you get a wreath kit from me, you're going to get a recipe card that looks just like this. And what it does is tells you that if you buy a wreath kit that has a square sign, actually, let's do it this way. So if you get a wreath kit that has a round sign, 2 rolls of mesh, 3 rows of ribbon, and a wreath frame, watch this video. So go watch this video. Now, in this case, this has 2 rolls of ribbon. Find a recipe that's close to what you have. I had somebody contact me last week and they're like, it doesn't have any florals in it. I really want you guys to use it as inspiration for your measurements, but I want you to definitely create. That's the whole part. You know, I want you to be inspired. This is, if you're just joining, this is the sign in our wreath kit. It is my, I will cling to the Old Rugged Cross 10-inch metal sign. Charlotte, you and me both. So I'm going to start by adding some cable tie mounts to the back of it. And I'm going to use my DAP Rapid Fuse glue. And for this, I just put I just put one little tiny dot down. I don't need a whole lot. Now, if you feel like that may not be enough, that's okay. You can also go back around the cable tie mounts with your hot glue gun too. So you have both hot glue and the DAP Rapid Fuse glue. Hello, Pamela! Charlotte, isn't it beautiful? Yeah, this is going to be fun. So this will be the first time I've used it. Obviously, I purchased it. Now, I will tell you, with this mesh, because it's called, what does it say on there? Ooh. It just says Deco Poly Mesh, but it's going to ravel super easy. So it reminds me of poly burlap that you would want to cut with maybe a wood burning tool, etc. So you don't want a lot of cuts with this. You want to avoid cutting with this. And so in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to use this in the poof method, because I'm not dragging out no wood burning tool today. So because it will ravel very easily, we're going to do a poof method. And when I do a poof method, I literally just throw this on the floor. And that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to take and I'm going to gather this. Actually, I'm going to fold it over and create a fold of about, that's backwards. Oh no. Let me turn my mat around. About 6 inches. Anywhere 6 and 7 inches. I'm going to fold that over. Then I'm going to gather that up with my hands. And now I have this little poof. The raw side is underneath. I'm going to start on the top of my frame and I'm going to push that mesh all the way down to the frame and give this a couple of twists. I'm going to now, to do my next one, I'm going to measure. I'm going to skip past this one and pull this clear over here. Hold it right there. I'm going to gather it together, push it back here, and a couple of twists. So now we have a poof. We have 2 poofs. We have our beginning poof and we have a second poof. We're going to continue this and just repeat this all the way around. And y'all, we may only need 1 roll of mesh for this, which would make everyone happy, because that means that at the end, you will have an extra roll of mesh. Not hurting at all. Right? This is where we started that beginning poof. So for this one, I'm going to measure out about 10 inches or, I'm going to, about the same amount. I'm going to make my poof and I'm going to kind of put it right inside the same twist tie the first one was at. Now, to go down to this section, I'm just simply going to gather this, kind of make it tight, come down here. Hang on, let me grab my mesh. It's hanging up down here. And I'm just going to bring it just like that to where it is just coming straight down. Now, I can measure over 1, 2, make my poof, and it's going to go right here. That's easy. Yes, Charlotte, this is a 15-inch frame. Yes, ma'am. 1, 2. So we did the poof method. We've used one roll of mesh, and the kit came with 2 rolls of mesh. You won't need both of them, or at least I'm not going to use both of them. I still have plenty here, but we're going to actually add a 3rd row. And the reason I say that is because it's very thin right in here. Kind of like my hairline. It's getting a little thin. It's a little thin in there. So for this, we're going to actually just take and make a 3rd row. So I'm going to bring some of this mesh. I'm going to go in between the top row and the 2nd row and find a convenient twist tie. It can be on the bottom, it can be on the top. Wherever it lands is fine. But see how I just kind of added a 3rd piece in there, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm just going to fill in between, and a piece, add it to a twist tie. Again, go in between the top row and the 2nd row. I'm going to turn those edges downward. So it's not really a poof, it's not a ruffle, it's just kind of a filler. Took me over a month to get her all combed out. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. But once I got her combed out, it was good. All right, I'm going to cut this off right here, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my end. And I still want to show you on the mesh. Look, we still have part of this roll left. So there's plenty here to keep for a 2nd project. And this would be a nice accent. And I will put this one aside because we're only going to use 1 roll of mesh on my version anyway. Rebecca, I love that. Filler ruffle. Filler ruffle. It's all one word. Love it. All right. So this piece that is left over, I'm actually just going to kind of bring it in between the rows, and we're going to bring it out the back side of my frame. And sometimes you can just take a zip tie or a twist tie, but I can probably take a small zip tie and, oh, there's one. There's one. It's a long one. It's okay. And I'm just going to zip tie that onto the piece of the wire frame. Make sure I didn't pull it too much. Good deal. And we'll cut that excess zip tie off. Okay. So now that's nice and secure on there. So our base looks nice and full. You might still have a couple of little holes, but don't forget that we're going to be using ribbon on this too as well. So watch what happens when we start adding ribbon, and then we're also going to be filling it in with some of this greenery and floral spray as well. Is wherever I put, where did I start it and end it? Right in here. So right here where I added a couple of different layers of the mesh, I don't have as much of the twist tie. So I got to kind of watch that. Sometimes I will use that to decide maybe I want to cover up that spot with my sign. And that way I don't have to put anything necessarily in it. But this one, I think I'm going to be able to put some ribbon in it. So let's measure it out. I'm going to go ahead and cut some 12-inch pieces of ribbon. And let's start with 10 of them. I know for sure I want to put ribbon all the way around the outside of the frame, and that would be 10 twist ties. So let's do that. Hang on a second. I want to see. Let's come down here for a moment. This is that twist tie that's not very, there's not very much of it. It's like a little stub, but I want to kind of see. So I really like those two together. I don't know that I want to stack this on top of the music notes. So let's take a look at how we feel about this one. And y'all, if I miss your comments, please, please, please don't think that I'm ignoring you. It's just that I'm looking down at the table and I try to keep all of my appendages when I craft, especially when I'm playing with scissors. Oh, Charlotte, girl, my stepson is a very bad addict. It's horrible. It's horrible. And of course, you know, there's nothing you can do for it. There's nothing you can do for them. Yeah, it's horrible. Okay, so it's either this or this and this together. I kind of like the contrast with this, but we're still going to be using this ribbon. But I like the contrast right here. What do you guys think? Can you see that? This is, my dad died of cancer. The phone. Oh, please tell me I kept those pipe cleaners here. Crud. I think I took them back to the shop, darn it. I need white. Maybe we can go. Ooh, I have some white ones, yay. I just got some new white ones in. Because I sell pipe cleaners on my website, and I just got some new ones in. I've got white and black back in stock. Those always go fast. So I'm going to take that sign that we've already added the cable timeouts to, and let's add our pipe cleaner. Aw, I came in late, but I know about living with someone with living an addiction, but with prayer and putting him in God's hands. He's doing awesome. Awesome. Good deal. And you know, not only prayer and God's hands, but we got to give him some credit. It takes a lot of inner strength, a lot, to overcome an addiction. It's tough. You raising the 2 children will add some money to your monthly expenses. Yes. It already has. Trust me, Debbie, it already has. I've got Eli sleeping on an air mattress right now. I got his room done, but I don't have money for the bunk beds yet. So we're buying twin size bunk beds, and of course they're both going to have mattresses. So it's one day at a time around here, right? One day at a time. All right. Let's go back to this for a moment. And, let's see. I really enjoy putting the sign kind of off cattywampus. So I'm going to go there. And keep in mind, too, that we have some beautiful greenery that's going to be added to this. Right? Diana, California in the house. Joyce, I know he did. I know he did. And I know it wasn't easy, and so commendable. Very commendable. All right, one more here. Get all 4 of these pipe cleaners through this mesh. So we've got our old rugged crust. We've got a beginning here. So what I was thinking with this one is sometimes I like to do little bows. And sometimes those bows make a bigger impact than, and I think that's what I'm going to do, than a ribbon tail. So let's cut that off and let me show you how I did this. Let's break it down. So first of all, when I get my mat turned around, this is 27 inches long. I'm going to dovetail the ends of it. And I am going to bring over another one of these. Get it ready, get it ready. And we're going to make like a breast cancer awareness ribbon cross here. Bring this down in the center. Pinch it here. And that's going to go right on top of this one. Right on top. There we go. I like it. What do you think? Yeah. These were fun to pick out. So let's make a bow before we add anything else, but I love how that's all going to blend together. Kind of gives you a nice little view. All right, so for my bow, we're going to just make a round bow. And we're going to make it about 7 inches, 7-inch tail, anywhere between 6 and 7-inch loops. And for this one, I'm going to do 3 loops on each side. All 3 loops are going to be 6 inches. And my tail. Then let's take our gold, and this is actually sage green. It's gold and sage green. Thank you, Charlotte. Yep, I really loved it when you know, it's just taking that inspiration and we walk around the shop and on the warehouse and look at what's on the shelves and go, oh, this, yes, yes. And then I'm kind of like you. It's like, dang, you can just almost automatically know exactly when you have the right thing. All right, so I'm going to do 2 on each side. That's about 5 inches, but then I'm going to go 1 more and I'm going to come in to about the 3-inch mark. 1 more over here to about the 3-inch mark. And we're going to cut that off there. Perfect. Perfect. And of course, I like to use floral wire. I like the 22 gauge floral wire. So I'm going to cut off a piece about 2 feet long. If you're new at making wreaths, you never want to put that bow right in here on top of a twist tie. You want to put it on the mountain, the top of the mountain. When you put it down here, what happens is the bow gets sucked down into the mesh and you lose all your body and your voluptuousness of your bow. Is that a word? Voluptuousness. If not, we're going to make it a word today. So always go on top of a mountain when you're adding a bow. So that's exactly what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this area right in here and feed my wire through. This side. Come on. Wire frame. There you go. Get on that side. And then this one's going to go on this side. And I did it so that these tails, I want these tails facing down towards the floor. So I'm going to move this, position it before I tighten it completely down so that that's where it lands. So there you go. You're welcome. Well, thank you, Charlotte. Now, I'm not pulling this bow down into the mesh. I'm just letting it glide right there on top. It's not going to move. I know some people are like, no, it needs to be super tight. You shouldn't have to, you shouldn't be able to move it. Well, guess what? We're going to add some greenery to this. So when we add that greenery, it's going to go up underneath our bow, and that's going to help anchor that bow. But before I do that, I wanted to kind of see where the bow is going to set, and we're going to add some more of this ambiance to our design. So I wanted to get that in there first and see where I wanted to put the rest. All right, so right there is definitely a great spot. Check on my hot glue over here because we're about ready to kick off the greenery. No, it needs to do it. And here we go. Here we go. Oh, now it's getting thinner. I must have gotten the right button. Now it's getting too thin. That's okay. I got you. I got you. All right, so I'm going to wiggle that around with that glue on there. I'm going to take this twist tie and use it to help anchor that. Position my bow back where I want it. And voila. Now I'm going to take this twist tie. Hang on a second. This twist tie right here, and I'm going to use it to help anchor it up towards the top, where that's actually kind of more in the center. And one little rule of thumb is, when possible, try to have it touch just the edge of your sign rather than have a whole disconnect. Just have it barely connecting, so it's making a full circle. All right, let's take this one, and this one I'm going to be able to get. Let's see how many cuts we're going to do on this one. Let me take off my tag first. I know for sure we've got this one. Oh, I love this. I love this one. I've got this one. And hold on, I think I'm going to be able to do 4. So I'm going to do right here at this joint. So I have this piece, this one, and this one. So I was able to cut 4 off of this one. And these are going to be accents. Charlotte, of course you can copy this. Girl, if I didn't want to share with the world, I would be doing this in a private paid tutorial right now, keeping it a deep, dark secret. You know that I ain't got no secrets. No secrets at all. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to integrate some of this variegated greenery in here. And I want a piece up behind my bow. Wiggle it around so it touches as many places as possible. And if you have access to a twist tie, I always like to use that twist tie too. Here's another one that we're going to kind of go down this way with. And there's a twist tie right there. So let me see if I can find a hole where I want to put that. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, that'll have to be the one. Okay. Okay, right in here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I'm going to use that twist tie to help hold it in place. And it's bendable, so I can bend this so that it's kind of half circling back towards our sign. And then I think I want to bring this last one right around here. And it's just bringing that whole trail right around here. So right in this area, let's find our spot, get some glue. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I've got a twist tie right there, so we're going to utilize that. And I want it to face this way a little bit. There we go. OMG. 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 Let me tell you. Let me move this guy. Or, yeah, you guys can see it from over here, can't you? I'll move my, all right, we'll zoom in on it. We'll zoom in on it on the wall. I love, love, love it. Let me zoom in for you. And there you go. There you go. I don't think I can get any closer. That's as close as it can get. Joyce, we make these signs. So these are available 24 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days. Yeah, you get it. 365 days a year. So we can make these signs anytime. The wreath kit would include the mesh, excuse me, the frame, ribbon, the greenery, the whole shebang. Margaret, hello. Margaret, I was just watching one of your replays the other day. Yesterday, I think. Going, I'm going to see Margaret soon. Yay. And now I start coughing. Okay. Stop coughing, Stephanie. Took a drink. Let's see if that helps. Y'all. I can tell you right now that the video does not give it justice. I'm going to adjust my lighting a little bit more and take some good photos for us, but it is absolutely stunning. I love this one. So if they didn't sell out already, if you go to the link pinned down below, that should give you a link to the wreath kit and also probably the sign and some of the ribbon and some of the things that we used in the wreath kit if they're not sold out already. Because sometimes they sell out while we're live. Awesome. Charlotte, I don't know about all that, but thank you, girl. Thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, I'm going to go check on Gary and dinner and all the fun things. It's almost our dinner time. Joyce, we will never be sold out of the sign. So if it says we're sold out, I will fix that in about 2 seconds as soon as we get done with the live. How's that sound? All right, guys. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you soon. Have a good one.